Okay, guys, we're back again today. Today we're looking at Lost WompRat's roster here. I know this is a pretty new account for you, Womp. 59 days, I think you said,
Yep, this is the 59th day of this account even existing.
and you're already number 4 on your fleet chart, so that's awesome. You did Hyperdrive bundle. I know you have some things planned as far as farming goes for the account, so that's kind of what I'm hoping we can walk through today. I'm going to turn it over to you and just kind of let us know what you have planned in the early stages of the account, and then maybe we can talk about some strategies after that.
Yeah. So early stages for this account, I'm going to admit it, I do spend on the account. I'm not a massive spender, however, I'm working very fast towards executor, but at the exact same time, because of how the requirements are for executor, it benefits you to get bounty hunters. Bounty hunters get you bits for Jabba, so I've said I'm doing both Jabba and executor at the exact same time. Executive is more of a priority just for crystal income.
Absolutely. Fleets pay the bills. I always say that's how you get your income. That's how everything else kind of snowballs, and you can build the account up. And so much
So
overlap with
the,
Executor and Jabba and Jedi Master Luke as well. So there's just
yeah,
a lot of synergy there.
there's there is a good amount of synergy. However, the new layer does tempt me every day for the second jab is done.
Tempting for sure.
So yeah,
All right.
there's just far too much synergy there.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, you are top four and or usually hitting number one, I assume, in fleets.
Um, Up until yesterday, I was able to get number one. However, my fleet can't take down the executor that's now at the top of our fleet shard.
That's a hit, man.
So
25 crystals a day. That's a hit.
yeah,
Still good
it's
income though.
half a ref it's half a reset, which is fine, but it's just one of those. It's like that's my pre-executive fleet. At the end of the day, the major difference will be these two will come out when it becomes my executive fleet, but I've already got my executive fleet lineup. I will be doing triple attacker because I know how much of a pain in the arse it is to bypass.
Awesome. All right. So, I mean, we're looking at fleets here. How are you doing as far as getting to Razor Crest goes? Do you have the farms going for BAM?
Let's have a look. We've got the farms going for BAM. Razor Crest shards. I've been farming every day that I see them. Currently 88, which it's not here or there, but I'm hoping that my reset that's just happened, I might get another four, and then I'll be a bit happier
You
because
know,
that is one of my priority
absolutely.
shop farms.
And definitely one of the most important ships, if not the most important ship in that fleet. Getting that marked out there,
Yeah,
ignoring taunts. So, very important ship in the executive fleet for sure.
yeah, and
Um, but
because of how it interacts, especially with IG 2000 when it calls that to assist. If it's got breached, the two ships just become very, very broken, very, very fast, which is hilarious to watch.
for you, not so much for your opponents.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's the triple attacker that does make this fleet just so disgusting because people just assume, oh, well, I'll just use this and bypass. And it's like, well, if it had Houndstooth Slave 1 and the Razor Crest to open up, yeah, that's hard to deal with. However, triple attacker is just so much firepower coming down at you, you can't just bypass it. You've got to put something in that can take that hit, and Profundity does struggle with it. So that was my thought of would I go Houndstooth Slave 1 and Razor Crest or Houndstooth IG Razor Crest? It was always going to be for me, I've got to put something that can just accidentally wipe something out to stop somebody, and it's going to live on defense for me until I've got two or three big fleets.
Yeah, and I mean, in your fleet shard where you're at right now, I wouldn't expect you to see a profundity anytime soon, so that should secure those crystals for you.
Yeah,
Um, let's see. And now,
for for my for myself, I am also working on General Grievous's ships for the Malevolence, all because it's such a strong counter to the Executor, to a Finalizer, to the Exectrix, and to a degree to the Profundity. So it's like having that one extra can get me to climb back up, and then I just drop the capital ship back down and go, hey, enjoy.
Yeah, and I mean through farming for the executor too, you're going to be able to throw. You're going to have that third cleanup fleet in there with the
Yeah.
with the Empire fleet as well by having TIE Bomber and TIE Advanced in there. Um,
So I do already have my two Empire fleets pre-designed. It's what I used to use, so it's one of those. It's a bit sad that I'm not going to have these for a while, but once I've got them up and running, they will just be more of a nightmare for everybody. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, by the time you get to where you're going to need those extra fleets, I don't think you need them till Chromium. So plenty of
yeah,
time to get those up and running. And even if you do put a junk fleet to go along with Executor on defense, people aren't going to clear that Executor at that level. So you'll be in great shape for GAC with fleets and fleet arena as
that's the
well.
plan.
Yep.
That's the plan.
So
So
where you are in the game right now, let's take a look at your characters really quick.
yeah.
A lot of overlap, like I said, in the Java farm with the Executor farm. How are you going about prioritizing which characters get gear and which characters you're farming early game?
So initially, what I was doing is I was working my way to R2D2 so I could get CLS opened. Simple because that was going. It is a double farm. It's horrible. I didn't want to be messing about with it. However, with the guild itself doing Crate Dragon, I pushed my bobber just to get that freebie point moment where it's literally throw bobber in AOE. If he doesn't get stunned, if he does, oh well, reset. And he gives me 106 on his own without any team support. So it was literally he's a priority. It also it's one of the executive pilots, so very priority. The
And Java.
executive pilot, yeah, the executive pilots are all priority for me. I've still got Cad Bane in there because I need his for the second. I've unlocked the ship, so I treat him as another relic five for the ship, just not as important. Um, I have got Dengar and TIE Fighter Pilot ready to go. It's just that I've not started to gear them yet because I check how many Kairos are needed and everything else and go, do I really want to put them priority or do I need to put them further back?
Yeah.
Regarding other things getting gear, at the moment I'm checking whether Dengar TIE Fighter need it. Bosk, Boba Fett doesn't need gear now, but IG, I check all of them for do they need the gear before I give it to anybody else. However, you'll notice currently I'm trying to unlock C3PO. So my next one to that is my Ewoks will then get the any toys that they want. After that, it's then back to crate stuff. Anything for crate gets the next batch.
Now it looks like
So
Bosk is probably your next relic, right?
Bosk, I'm aiming to hopefully have done. We get our rewards in 2 hours, is it? From
It's so for me it's
yeah.
about 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, so you're about 5 hours behind me. You'll have them when you wake up in the morning for crate raid
No, I mean not crate raid from the raid
from
from
Territory
TW.
War. Yeah, those I think those
Yeah,
pay out in about a couple hours. So
yeah. So I'm hoping that that should get me the parts because with Bosk, I've been farming through, and it's like I'm not far off those. As you'll notice, I'm so credit poor
yeah,
that it's unbelievable how hard this game is when it's like you sit there and you go, oh my god, how many credits do I need? This I should have done. That's been my main sticking point with him. But I should have Bosk unlocked and done either today or tomorrow from rewards from TW and rewards from Crate.
Awesome.
So he should be going up to at least relic 2 or 3, ready to go.
Perfect. Now let's talk about those crate rewards a little bit. How are you currently spending your Mark 1, 2, and 3 that you get from crate?
I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to show you exactly how they're spent and how fast they are spent. Um, as I joked the last time that we were on there, the crate rewards, I spent all 8,000 in less than 10 minutes.
They go quick, that's for sure.
They go very quick because at the time I didn't have Boss finished, so I was finishing off Bosk. But it's like I'm buying with my 3 star, I'm buying aero magnifiers because you can't make them.
Yep.
So aero magnifiers are majorly important. Anything else I don't buy. I prefer to get the kit to make it if I can. So that's where all my 3 star goes. My 2 star will go into kit, but I'll also put at least 1,400
Wampa.
um Wampa or into Hermit Yoda. So I am slowly. I'll usually do one Wampa, one Hermit Yoda, or two Wampa, one Hermit Yoda,
Any
with us
reason
still
you're
doing
doing those
way.
evenly instead of finishing one up first?
Um, Not really. Usually, I pushed for Wampa first of all, simply because it's a one man army. For
Hmm.
GAC, is a monster, and it's like I've had to resort to buying credits with my Mark One,
Hmm.
which is horrible. I then buy kit with my Mark One, but then the first thing I was doing until the last crate raid rewards, because the last one I still had teams that I could buy. Right at the bottom, I was going. I've still got Trey and Kenobi. I'll still be buying shards for Trey and Kenobi, but I had Glamourian Guard to get one on. I needed the Ewoks finished, which are now done. I
Hmm.
had Farm Boy Luke. I've already done some FAQ because it's some FAQ,
Hmm.
but it's like I've also been buying Rex Echo ready for after Jabba. Um, but it's like I've even got Magna Guard up ready for after Jabba. Um, I should be farming B2, but it's one of those
I mean,
where,
I wouldn't focus on too many things all at once, though.
yeah,
I
it's
mean, you could get some
literally
credits out of that, get or the Mark One, that might help you along. And I would
yeah,
probably focus Wampa until he's up to 7 stars, honestly.
yeah.
I noticed you
It's
put the
like,
Zeta into Wampa as well, so you're well on your way. Is that going to be your first Omicron?
yes, I'm 3 off, I think, or 2 off. Let's have a look because he's basically ready to go.
Hmm.
Yeah, 3 off. So he'll be done next week. He'll get that straight away. I'm not even going to hold back at that. It's just going to be, there you go. He can have it. I don't care because he just makes one team all on his own.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he's so worth it.
Absolutely. And then Hermit Yoda, I mean, you don't have necessarily a team for him yet, so he would
No,
probably be after Wampa for
he's
me.
yeah, he's not a massive priority. He's
Yeah,
got
and you
12
haven't gone
shards.
nuts on him either. You've done 12 shards so far. All
Yeah,
right. What about the
it
BAM unlock himself? Have you got that team that I think it's Cara Dune, Queel, IG-11,
yeah.
Grief, and
So
Mando?
they're literally straight above him. Cara Dune, I'm farming shards for every day at the moment. Single refresh. Same with Mando, who is up here because he's got a bit more gear. Um, Same again, single refresh on him. I Queel is bomber. He gets 3 refreshes a day. IG88 is on Grief Karga shard.
Yep.
Uh, so they're going together, but I also do one Grief Karga in the fleet one just
Hmm.
because I want the Rebel bomber that goes with it.
Okay.
So
Um,
he's going to come along a bit quicker than IG11, unfortunately.
yeah. And now there are some Empire requirements on the exec as well. We want to take a look real quick at your Imperial Troopers and just kind of see how that's
Imperial.
coming up for you, because that's another team early game that can punch up. I mean, you've got some of the pieces
Yes.
here. It looks like you got a lot of Dark Trooper.
Yeah, Dark Trooper. It's the credit crunch moment of I'd
Hmm.
love to get him started up a bit, and at the moment, with him being on light side node, a lot of my farms are light side. I'm doing a lot on them. I don't mind. With Scout Trooper, I'm so tempted to get the Remnant team finished, but it's just like I don't want to add to my farm at the moment, so
Do you,
is one of those. I'd love to do it, but I won't
yeah.
do it at this time.
Do you use this team in GAC currently?
So the team I actually currently use in GAC is Veers, Piet, Dark Trooper, and Vader.
Okay.
Simply because instead of me putting it onto Dark Trooper, because my Vader is so big, because he's I'll throw it onto Empire for us so you can see. He's just about to be relic soon. So it's a case of congratulations. I'll throw it on him. He can take a few more hits than Dark Trooper can, and it lets me try and pump out a bit more damage. If I've Vader solo, which unfortunately I'm facing people like 4 mil, 5 mil, it he can't punch up on his own. So usually he sits with those three to just give him a bit more power.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you can, when you do get that Zeta and Piet to the Emperor's Trap, he can be a real menace to deal with in that team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I assume Dark Trooper is probably just at a point where you need Kairos for him and you don't want to spend them.
I actually think you're right. I think
Yeah.
yeah,
Carbs there,
it's
probably Kairos over there.
Carvanti's
I don't know.
there.
You could go up a
Um,
gear level with him.
I could, but if you look, Vader needs these, Santa
Yeah.
needs them, CLS needs them. There is so many people that need them above him, and it's just like my CLS team is coming along so well.
Let's take a look at that
I
CLS
prefer to
team.
spend a night. Yep, we'll chuck it into Rebel so you can see the whole lot.
Hmm.
There we go.
Okay, so you've already got
So
Chewbacca, Han already both up at 7 stars. Awesome.
yeah,
Who are you running for a fifth right now?
R2D2,
R2? Yeah.
which is only so that you can give crit to the group. That's it. He gives a buff to the group. It's his calculate combat analytics, is it? Yeah. All allies gain 10% crit chance and 10% accuracy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's probably the best early game option as far as running a fifth in
Yeah.
the CLS team, so good use there. How close are you to C3PO? I know you mentioned possibly building Ewoks down the road, so.
So I'm currently building Ewoks to be able to get him. 50 of 145 to unlock.
Mhm.
So we'll do that. It's rare that we can go this far in, but there we go. So yeah, I'm
Everybody's
getting it
favorite
there.
event.
Yeah, yeah, agreed that. Two more and he'll be unlocked. I will then pump him as high as I can while I'm farming Wicket. Um, I do want to farm Nisa, but it's it's one of those. After Jabba, Nisa will be a target.
Yeah, and I mean, the longer you wait, the closer you are to her being accelerated as well, which means less refreshes, saving
Yeah,
crystals, quicker farm. So
we all love accelerated farms,
we sure
honest.
do. Yeah, I mean the Ewoks look good. Um, Plans to use them long term. I know we're gonna get some use out of them in the next
You
raid as well.
so so my plan is to bring back the old speedwalk meta of how fast can I push these? Usually around the 300 mark for all of them. So it's that moment of if you do not check the speeds and you do not actually take them serious, even at Relic 1, they become an absolute nightmare because they're just feeding turn meter. They're so fast. They're lapping you within, I've worked it out, there's like 2 rounds they can lap you.
Yeah, Paplu specifically. Once he gets pretty fast, he can really be a problem. He's got that unique that gives him the speed boost there, and people will, even if they do check the speeds, if they're not familiar with the kit, he's going to be much faster than the base speed shows. So it can be a tricky team for people for sure. I think that'll get you some holds if you do decide to go that route and bring them up. People will always underestimate Ewoks, and with Nisa,
But
the new timeout meta, that's not a bad
yeah,
defensive team to have.
but it's this that I love, that it's you've got chances to gain turn meter. You do gain turn meter on basic, and it's just like you can randomly call other allies Ewoks to assist.
Hmm.
So it's like once I've got simple tactics,
Is that your
this
next
team.
Zeta?
I don't know. Honestly, right now, Zetas wise, I'm sat there waiting on so many Zetas, and it's like I'd love to say he could just be the very next one, but I want to finish off CLS. I need to finish off. There's a few other teams that are literally waiting on Zetas. I know Mando needs one of his. So it's like, there's just too many Zetas needed.
Yeah, especially with still having fleet farms that you need to do for ships and things. That currency, whereas later game you can spend it on Zetas to really kind of move things along. It's tough early game to really
Yeah,
pile those
and
up.
early on, it's like my fleet shard currency is kit, it's shards that I need. I have to sit on 1,200 at all times just in case I get that triple
Hmm.
Razor Crest. If I get it one after another, it's like, well, I can buy it. I don't care. That's 12 shards one day, don't care.
Yeah,
But you've got to sit on that currency to do it. And it's like, when I first started, I wasn't getting enough currency to do that. And I did miss on a Mando shard. And since now, I sit on at least 2K currency at all times.
gotta have that bank just in case. Um,
Yeah.
so
I just can't afford to miss it.
yeah, absolutely. Now I want to talk a little bit about what your strategy is in GAC currently. I know it's the bane of every new player's existence. You're getting those oversized matchups. Um, but I
So,
mean, yeah, tell us what you're working with here.
so these are my generalized GAC squads. They're not perfect. Some of them need finishing off yet. I use my bounty hunters on offensive all the time. I'll tend to throw my five first bodge into defense just because it plays with people. I will already throw my Ewoks on defense because I've tried to do as much on their mods as I can. Um, my other, I've I have used first order on attack, but honestly, I don't work on them. As you can see, I've put 2 levels since what's it on Kylo Ren on Mast.
Yeah, it's not a great
He
team
got
until
some
you really get to
gear.
the SLKR level, and
He got some gear, but that was just for something that I needed him for. Um, I have used my geos on defense, but I use them more on attack. Um, this lovely monstrosity seems to actually work well in GAC. I don't get why. I don't understand why, but it makes a mess of some lovely teams, so I use it.
I almost wonder if it's just a team that people aren't used to seeing and can kind of catch them off guard. It's possible.
I think that's more what it's likely to be. There's my bodged uh, Imperial Troopers choices. I did make the new Moff Gideon and Stormtrooper Remnant squad, and it was like, I'm not going to use this anytime soon.
Yeah, the
So,
wishful thinking for the future for sure.
yeah. But it's like Stark's in there, but Vader usually nicks Stark's spot
Yeah.
because he's just not unlocked. And then
So as we go
it
through these,
comes
can I
down
ask you
to
one question? So when you're
God.
going through and like thinking about building teams and timelines on those teams, how do you think about when you'll have a team up and running. For me, I'm thinking, this is a short-term team. I might have this team up and going in the next 3 months, medium range, long
Um,
range. Do you ever go through that kind of process?
I do and I don't. Stuff like the Bastard of Shan team, I needed to get Bastard up, and that got this team working well just by getting her to 85 and getting the few extra toys on her. That was a very short term. I need a defensive team that's a pain in the ass to clear. And that, for now, until I get Qui Gon Jinn up, is a much better team. Once I get Qui Gon Jinn up, and that's where my other potential Zeta is going, is it may go on him early just to make my GAC defenses even harder because they would just literally swap places and the team's done for now. And it's a horrible, horrible team because you're potentially going to be hitting Mace all day long.
Yeah, and I ran that team on defense for a while as well, and even when it didn't get holds, it's going to strip banners. And so many people
Yeah.
down on Carbonite, if you are in a close matchup, just don't understand the mechanics of the Qui-Gon team. And like you said, they will hammer on Mace all day, wonder why he's sitting there at 1 health. Meanwhile, Anakin's AoE after AoE tearing their team apart. So that could be an option to
They,
throw on a front wall for you as well.
yeah, I usually have that on my south back wall, and I usually will have something like the Ewoks in front of it. And because I've already built them to be relatively fast, they tend to throw quite a good answer at it. And then they have that sat behind. And usually they don't have an answer then because they've used their good answer in the front line.
Yeah.
My Ewoks, even now, tend to get a hold. So I think people are underestimating them, not realizing they're built for pure speed. And then all of a sudden they've lost one team, they take it out with the second team, and then all of a sudden the back wall is just as disgusting to see.
Makes sense.
Um, my Night Sisters are a project for after Jabba. It's Merrin. I'd love to just spend, but they're one of those. I will get them up, as you can see. I might be semi farming them in the shops,
Hmm.
but that's it. It's just as and when for them. Phoenix. We all know with Rex now
They're
it's
much
a
better
disgusting
now.
team.
Yeah.
Then that lovely Jyn Erso squad is not been touched. It's level 80. It's a hyperdrive. Woohoo! My emergency nihilist squad for if I've got something that I need to deal with Sith. I need to edit that actually because I've now got Treya, but she's only level 1, so she won't be used for a while.
I'll say this
Um,
about the Sith faction. They're a nice faction for kind of using pieces when you need them. So,
yeah,
even if you're doing something like a Savage and maybe you need slightly more than a solo to take out a team in GAC, you could throw that Darth Maul in there for his lead to get some extra benefit. Um,
yeah.
you know,
Dooku for his counterattack is a
yeah, there's
pain.
so many things you can just kind of mix and match with to make them a little
It's
bit
like
more powerful.
it, even if you're really stuck and you know you are going to struggle killing something, you stuff Nihilus in with 4 tanks. Done. Watch them pound on the tanks all day long. They can't kill them in time. Nihilus goes pop, kills the one thing that you couldn't kill off otherwise. You might get another 1 or 2 killed off that way as well. But then you've got an easy cleanup. So Nihilus has been used as a cleanup option where it's here's a load of tanks, deal with it.
Yeah, extremely valuable character in my opinion, especially once you get Trey's Omicron up. Trey
Oh
Savage,
yes,
Omicron team is
I
a
I
nightmare to deal
cannot
with.
wait for that team.
Yeah.
Uh, my favorite resistance team, I just haven't got the parts for it yet, and I'm not spending on it. And then right at the bottom, I have my emergency CLS. The amount of times I've fallen back on this team already is getting ridiculous. Um, the only
Great bang
winner
for your
is
buck team.
yeah. The only other ones that I was tempted on was Tuscans, but No, no, I'm not doing it to myself.
For me,
To,
looking at that faction, beyond what is needed for requirements for things, I don't think I'm going to touch them at this point. The two best
there,
characters that you need to bring up are heavy Cairo characters.
yeah,
They're not going to be needed in the next raid. They don't really do much else well either. I mean, I know they're an anti-turn meter team, but for the investment required, I think you can just do so much better. And that's just
yeah,
my opinion.
I totally agree there. They are an amazing team, but you need Chieftain to be right up. You need Warrior to be up. Tuscan Raider with these two makes this team for 3v3 very annoying to deal with because you've got four of them. You've got to kill the two Raiders together, and you've got to kill Chieftain and Warrior before them, which makes Raiders get faster, which means it just gets horrible fast. So if you is one of those teams that, although yes, it's a heavy investment, once you have invested as a 3v3 team, it's just wrong. You don't need that Bob Fett thing, the horrible Fett.
Dead bod Boba.
You don't, yeah, you don't need him in this team. Everybody's piling him in there because he works for Chieftain. No, put Raider, and watch people panic. It's hilarious.
Yeah. All right. So we've kind of gone through the teams here. Um,
Yeah.
we've talked a little GAC strategy. Anything that you're seeing as high value, maybe in Conquest early on, that you think can help
So,
carry people
so
through
my
there?
conquest teams are very, very basic. Treya, Talon, Treya, Nyla, Scion is literally, I'm stuck. It's grinding me to death. These guys don't die. And that's the team I used to literally, even on hard, so it'll be throw these three in and I'll let them grind it down. I'd walk out with 1 or 2 stars. Don't care. I've just got past something that may have cost me energy.
Yeah.
Um, my carry unit, once I've got Beskar Mando up, these three say you've got to get Moff Gideon through a final boss fight. Well, congratulations. You're protecting him with Chewie. You're giving these two even faster with Beskar Mando. You can end up running a turn meter loop. So these two just suddenly constantly going, and you just beat it down with these two. Beskars going, here's birds, here's birds, here's birds, here's birds. Stop it. It literally just rips teams to pieces. Um, it's not good against a lot of teams, but a lot of the bosses, this will just sit there all day long. Um, Again, CLS, it's CLS. There should
Yeah.
be C3PO. It will be soon for me, but it will get past quite a few teams. Again, bounty hunters, mine's a bit of a bodge because I'm missing Mando and
Grief.
Grief. That would replace these last two. The reason I use Cad Bane is because I swap between Boss, Cad Bane, and Boba Fett lead, dependent on the situation, because Cad Bane is 20 debuffs. So you use Boss Mass Assist, Grief Karga's Mass Assist, and you've usually got it, which means then Mando's taking his shot and killing something
Yeah.
in
Absolutely. The
on
quicker you
his
get there, the
go.
better. I know a lot of people like to use Aura's thing as well. And that'll
Yeah.
probably be in your plans. I think she's
Auras,
a Jabba requirement, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, she is. She's a Jabba requirement, so she will eventually be the option for lead as well. Uh, in this in this conquest, I am using this. Even with Rex at low, he's doing the work. It's literally win so many matches with these, and yeah, I've just found one that these can just about 2 star, and it's literally congratulations. Are you over 60%? Yes, right, done. So these will just sit there and get a steal of 9 more for me, and that's it. Again,
Hmm.
another team of if I'm stuck, I resort to my troopers getting kills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you get that
at the
Emperor's Trap on there with
with
the
this,
that really can do some damage too.
yeah, with this one, if I had my Mando team up and I had my Treya team finish, I wouldn't have got stuck where I got stuck. Um,
Who do
I
you
screwed up.
run as the fourth and fifth with your BAM team?
So with the BAM team, it's usually a case of you've got to carry somebody. So that last boss where you've got to carry like Moff Gideon or you've got to carry Talon or anybody like that goes in as the fourth. And then the fifth is literally what's the biggest tank I've got left.
So you do go tank then. Okay.
Yeah. I would either go tank or Jolie Bindo if you've got him just to pick him back up. Something like that that can pick somebody up if necessary.
Yeah. Now,
Chances
I mean,
are you're
somebody like a
not going to need it.
Vandor dash
Yeah,
combo could be
Vandor
good, or even like a
Dash
Queel at
worked
G11.
well. Dash worked really well with these two as well because he gets trapped in that turn meter loop.
Hmm.
So you can end up really just storming away with things, all because of Mando's lead.
Yeah.
Beskar Mando's lead. Once he gets going, in fact, where are you? It's Scoundrel Eyes gain a load, and then whenever they take damage, Scoundrel Eyes get turn meter, and they end up feeding each other turn meter and attacking and attacking. And if you get it right, you get Mando and Han with Chewbacca's ability, and they just continually feed each other turn meter all day long.
Yeah,
So
that's a team I kind of want to work on a little bit too. I have Bam, Chewie, Han all up at relics. Um, I don't have a fourth and fifth really built up. I do want to get Vandor and Dash built just for the Smugglers Run event as well.
yeah,
So, and hopefully that'll be a team I can use in Conquest going forward as well, because I still haven't
yeah.
cleared normal completely. So,
Ah, you'll get there. You'll get there. It's like I still do conquest for two of my friends. Um, I've got to red crate already on both of their accounts, and they're on hard. I am allowed, I think they said like 100 crystals a day on refreshes, and
apparently
usually
that's
by
it.
like yeah, so usually I'm at red crate with 8 days to go.
It's a good spot to be in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with now being able to go and auto farm, and you just sit there and you just peel off bloody on datacrons.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Here's the state of my datacrons.
You know what though? I mean, you're at a point now where you don't have a whole lot of relics in the account to use them. So
Yeah,
by the time you get those relics, they'd be expiring anyway. It's just such tough luck that datacrons are such short-lived investments that you can make into your account. They are powerful for sure, but short-lived. Um, so yeah.
yeah. They are brilliant, especially now with the fact that they're potentially going to keep them from Relic One. It means people that have got Relic Geos have got a better chance of being able to use them. Relic Ewoks, or if they ever did one where you got percentage speed, I could guarantee you will not keep up with Ewoks because it will be that turn meter gain on top of 25% speed, on top of this, on top of that, and all of a sudden they just get rolling really, really fast.
Yeah.
Um, the only thing that I'm looking forward to is second I finish Jabba, I am going on a massive squad farm. As I've said to you, it's where I start to play in here. This lovely journey guide Mando, I'm well while off finishing off, but it's like I've hit so many in the last few days. I unlocked handship yesterday, which is why we didn't film till today because I wasn't having my handship not done after I was meant to have that done on Monday this week, but I've had such bad RNG on the Xanador blood. So after I've finished Jabba. It's these five all straight away, all as one big farm and gassed because
All good
yeah,
targets for sure. All good
well, we'll
targets.
by then I'm hoping that we'll actually need Inquisitors as a guild. Afra is Afra. Starkiller, we all know full well what he does on Territory Wars. Both of these amazing little teams,
Yeah.
and
I'm
it gives
thinking
me access to Malik. I'm not that bothered by Malik because I had Malgus. I miss Malgus.
I can see why you would miss Malgus. He's a monster. I'm thinking that we'll probably be looking rote for the guild maybe sometime early next year. I think we'll be crossing that 200 mil mark, and I know that we can
Yeah,
probably score, at least some low stars just by deploying. So I think that'll be a nice upgrade for us. As long as everybody keeps growing, we should get there in good time. So I know you're growing
it, it,
quickly, and hopefully this video
it
will kind of help people grow quickly and kind of look at what they're farming and what to prioritize. We are close. We're just
it's
past the 40-minute mark here, so I do kind of want to get
yeah.
this
We
closed
tried to
up.
make this short, but
Target was
we
15
tried.
minutes. Target was 15
Uh,
minutes.
it
Um,
it the reason it's been a bit longer, this one, is its conquest is up, so we can talk a bit more about that.
for sure.
We've also got Territory Wars up, GACs is up. It's not. This is a video where it's just, oh, it's just a review of this. It's also giving information in regards to your GACs, your what's
Useful
it.
information.
At at some point when we've either me or you have got an opponent that we can actually potentially beat, what we could do is just do like a scouting video to say this is how we would look at an opponent, especially with GAC, even if you are outgunned, how you can potentially get around it, because it's something that not a lot of guilds out there teach. Not a lot of guilds out there have anything on. And as far as I've seen on YouTube, you have got the odd person that does talk about it, but they don't go into the little things like, well, have you got this team? Yes. Can they deal with it? No. Right. That's one of your defensive teams. So
Right.
they
Something
don't
we should
tend to
definitely
go
look
into
at in
that.
the future. I think we'll keep these going. And if anybody that's
Mm,
watching this does have a topic they want us to talk about, just let us know. You can leave a comment on the YouTube, or you can just at either one of us in the chat and Discord. So we want to make these useful to you. So if there's something that you're struggling with, please just let us know. If it's something that we can answer, help you out with, it's just better for everyone. We'll help you. It'll help the guild. So any last words, Womp, you want to share?
Um, honestly, don't get stressed out by the game. When you are doing big farms like what I'm doing, where you've got two not small farms mixed together, looking at something like Leia in the future, it does make it a lot easier because of how she's been tied into everything else. But just stick at it. And if you need to, it's like I've prioritized Executor. Prioritize the ones that you need to prioritize. Don't let somebody else say to you, oh, you have to do this. Because number one, it's your account. Number two, if it benefits you and it benefits the guild you're in, there's no need to worry about what you're doing as long as you are benefiting both sides. Something like Boba Fett at Relic 8, well, that's 176 straight
179.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, 179.
Yep.
Who's going to complain at that in crate? If that's the only thing you're getting, yeah, it's going to be a slog for everybody to get to the 25 mil crate, but it's still a bloody good chunk.
Every bit helps for sure. Well, Wamp, I appreciate
Exactly.
you taking the time today. It was nice kind of going through things and talking through some strategy with you. Anybody who's
Yeah,
watching, if you've watched this far, we really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care.
yeah. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.